It feels like NFTs have only just come out, but the amount of money that is pouring into the space is astronomical. What I want to do is go through in this video exactly what I'm doing in this NFT space, what am I buying right now, and what I believe are the categories or tiers of blue chip projects, mid-tier projects, and more speculative plays. If you are interested, keep watching. Hey guys, my name's Ravi and welcome back to Personal Finance with Ravi Sharma. If you're new here, smash that subscribe button because I talk about real estate, cryptocurrency, and financial freedom. Occasionally, I'll talk about pictures of apes, pictures of dogs and cats, which are NFTs, and apparently you can make a lot of money from. Now in a second here, we're going to jump into Opensea, which is the largest marketplace for NFTs, as well as some data around what is happening with the volumes and what I think is going to happen over the next 6 to 12 months in NFT space. But before that, if you are interested in more daily updates around NFTs, cryptocurrency, and Australian real estate, then definitely join the Patreon community. If you are actually wanting to learn a lot more about this space, then all I urge you to do is to stay educated, stay in the right conversations all the time, and constantly be around that information, because it might be the 7th time that you hear it, but is the 7th time is when you're actually going to go and make your first move. So I urge you, if you are interested in taking this stuff seriously, then join the Patreon community. I'll leave a link in the description below. And if you are interested in sort of getting started in NFTs, but don't really know how to start, what I will do is link you to a video that I've made previously on the channel around how to set up your MetaMask. So you might buy Ethereum on CoinSpot, which I'll leave a link in the description below for as well if you're new. So you go there, you buy the Ethereum, bring it onto MetaMask wallet, and actually connect that to Opensea. If you are interested in that, there's a link in the description below, as well as a video that'll pop up here. So let's jump into some of the data. So I'm here on June Analytics, and what you can see is the monthly volume of Ethereum transactions on Opensea. Now, a lot of this is going to look very new to you because there's not many people covering this sort of information, but realistically, if you see end of 2020, all through the first sort of quarter of 2021, you didn't really have that much volume. And then we start seeing the peaks in July, August onwards. And what's important here is that we were in a steady decline until we came into November and December. Now with December, what we've seen is the market with crypto moving sideways. Whenever we see periods of consolidation, there is an inverted relationship with what's happening in crypto to what's happening in NFTs. And my sort of theory around this is that when crypto becomes boring, people are taking their money from there, coming into NFTs where they can make flips, where it's a bit more interesting because we want quick wins, right? We are in crypto because we know it's volatile. But when there's no volatility in crypto, that's when people get bored, they move their money elsewhere and they're coming into NFTs. Now the thing is, there are more and more garbage projects that are coming out every single day. However, in amongst the 20 or 30 shitty projects, there's always one that comes out that has real utility, has a really good team, and has good use case long term. So this is where we see a lot of that smart money come in and buy those projects. In addition to that, you've still got the blue chip projects, which I'm going to go through in a second. But a combination of all of this happening, you can see that parking your money against NFTs and crypto means you're hedging against the two. Now, of course, none of the stuff I talk about here is financial advice.
And there's no financial advisor ever going to tell you to go and buy a picture of an ape. Come on.
So we've really broken out of this downtrend, which was lasting for about 4 months. We've then had a high in December, and now January is also coming in, and it's coming in red hot. And again, if you look at what's happening in crypto, it's just moving sideways, you're consolidating, small corrections, and when you have to buy everything with the native token of Ethereum, if Ethereum's price goes down, the floor prices on some of these projects are going through the roof. You can see it on the daily here, a real representation of what's been happening. It's come out of the blue really, but we didn't expect that December and Q4 was not going to be parabolic in crypto. So what ended up happening? The money got taken from there that was sitting on the sidelines, buying Ethereum, comes into NFTs, and now we're seeing that absolute boom. But it gets really scary in here in October and the start of November, where a lot of people were cashing out, including myself, some of those NFTs, knowing that maybe we're a bit overexposed, bring it back into fiat currency or have it sit in Ethereum because we expected that crypto was going to go on this parabolic move. Instead, we saw the opposite, and now I think over the next 3 months, if we are going to see crypto sort of consolidate, which I believe it will, over the next couple of months, we could see this NFT boom continue. What I have seen over the past though, is being in this space for about 5-6 months, you can see that the NFT bull run, so to speak, only lasts for about 2 to 3 weeks. Now that's a long time in the NFT world. That could mean that your project could do in those 2 weeks anywhere from a 5 to 12x, even more sometimes. So this is where if you're gonna then compound that by trading and flipping some of those NFTs into bigger projects, it can actually be quite fruitful. I want to go through what I believe are the blue chip plays in NFT land. Now, are these all the projects I'm talking about? No. There are other projects out there that are either mid-tier, that could be potentially a blue chip actual project. But the thing is, what I've realized is you're never going to be around everything. So you may as well pick your niche, pick a couple of those projects, put them on your watch list, and then go through it that way. So first and foremost is Bored Ape Yacht Club. Now, this is becoming the premier project in NFT land. When I was actually looking at this, this was at a floor price of 7 ETH. Unfortunately, I didn't buy at that point, but there is so much happening in this space. And if you had actually bought a Bored Ape, you would get a Bored Kennel. So it was a dog version that you would get for free. And you would also get a mutant ape for free as well, which you could mutate from your original ape. Now the mutant is now sitting at about 15 ETH. The Bored Ape Kennel Club is also sitting at about 5 ETH. So if you had just bought into this at say 10 or 20 ETH, you would now have a combined value of airdrops of about 20 to 30 ETH already. So effectively you're holding this for free. So it did see a peak around that sort of 75 mark for a floor price. People are taking profits, but I don't think it's going to stop right here. In Q1, they're looking at coming out with their own token, which means passive income opportunities. I think there's a lot happening in the Bored Ape Yacht Club sort of ecosystem. And so with their roadmap, if they can execute, and that's the real big if they can execute, this will be the blue chip project for NFTs and represent that entire NFT ecosystem. Now, in no particular order, we also have Doodles. Now, this has really come out of the blue. It's definitely not as old as Bored Ape Yacht Club, but when I was looking at this project, it was sitting around that 2 ETH mark. Unfortunately, again, I didn't pull the trigger because I was actively moving some of my ETH into the metaverse projects. Now, if you were in the Patreon, you would have known when I was doing this, but essentially it meant that I wasn't looking at NFTs because I was already comfortable with my holdings in NFTs and I didn't really want more exposure there. But I was looking at this at 2 ETH. I let the groups know that, hey, look, it's a good opportunity. Now it's sitting at 8. It did reach 9 ETH. It's now consolidating. People take profits. I can definitely see this being a 10 to 15 ETH project. We then have Cool Cats, and I think Cool Cats is going to have a big run up, especially in relation to its token, Milk token, as well as some of the other utility plays that they're bringing out, but is definitely now a blue chip. Needless to say, I was definitely going to mention something about Gary Vee when it comes to NFTs. This is his project, VeeFriends. And this is something that I was looking at about 3 ETH, now sitting at close to 12 ETH, has been an amazing gain for anyone that got in. Gary Vee, someone who I definitely respect and is very well respected in all industries, came out with something that really relied on the utility rather than the art factor. And what he's doing here is a lifelong project. And now with the lead up to Series 2, essentially, if you have Series 1, which is one of these, you'll probably get airdrops Season 2. And how much is Season 2 going to be worth? Nobody knows. But this is why we are seeing this massive bull run in NFT land, and all of these blue chip projects are moving along with it. And finally, as part of the blue chips, you have to cover CryptoPunks. This is like one of the first NFT projects that came out on Ethereum, and there's been multiple sales, multiple millions of dollars, and you've got big name celebrities already involved with the space. However, with CryptoPunks that's been released by Lava Labs, they actually don't do anything. There's no utility behind it, and it's really just a piece of historical art, really. And this is where some people are now going, well, is it worthwhile going into CryptoPunks when I can go into Bored Apes and there's utility, there's token, there's passive income, whereas CryptoPunks doesn't do any of that. And that's really been, I guess, the ongoing argument between the two. Personally, if I had the choice, I'd own one of each rather than having 2 of the CryptoPunks or 2 of the Bored Apes. I'd like to diversify and have one of each. Now we move into what I believe is the mid-tier projects. These are the projects that have good utility, have good plans, and good teams. These are very important factors when you're considering going into an NFT project or not. For me personally, I hold some of these already. I hold 3 Dogepound at the moment, and this was only recently sitting at about 1.5 ETH. It has reached the highs of about 3.5 to 4 ETH. Now it's consolidated around that 2.17 ETH to 2.2 ETH. For holding a Dogepound, you would also then get airdropped a Doge Puppy, which is sort of ranging around that 0.3 to 0.4 as well. Next up, we have World of Women. This is one of my favorite projects. This, I believe, is like the first edition of women-led projects. That is going to be very important, I guess, in the next sort of 3 to 5 years as we get more eyes in the space of NFTs. At one point, I actually owned 11 of these, and I definitely don't have 11 now, but I still do have a good holding of World of Women. Now, for me, these are the set and forget, hold forever sort of projects, because I believe with the utility, with how much they're doing around the space and the brand that they're actually growing, this could be anything. And if the price does drop and we have a corrective move, I will definitely be adding to my bags here. Next up, we have Rumble Kong League, which is strong becoming my favorite project. It's definitely my biggest holding now, and I've been holding these since 0.3 to 0.4 ETH, which I found a few months ago. Well, the reason why I like this project so much is because you have a game being developed with major backing, you have passive income opportunities coming up, and the artwork is absolutely sick. So a combination of all of these things is really what makes a project blue chip versus a project that just looks great in terms of art but doesn't really do anything. I can definitely see people changing their profile pictures to one of these Kongs, or they can actually go ahead and actually use their Kong as an NFT to then play in the game. Now, if they play in the game, you then make crypto as passive income. So you're playing to earn, similar to like Axie Infinity. However, people are calling this like the NBA of the metaverse, which is going to be massive. And when you have people like Steph Curry also really heavily involved with Rumble Kongs, you sort of can't go wrong in my opinion. So this is definitely one that I'm stacking. If this goes down to about that 2 ETH floor, I'll be buying a lot more. Now, if I was to take a step back and look at more of my speculative plays, I can then go through some of these projects that I think are one of those plays that could work out really well, but I don't have a large amount of my exposure to these projects simply because they haven't really proven themselves yet. That doesn't mean they can't, they just have the makings for a really good project. Next up is Mutant Cats. Now, the reason why you've got unique owners so low is because they have staking available for their Mutant Cats. And what you would do is by staking them, you then earn a passive income. Now, that passive income based on the token price has been dropping. However, if you can bring utility attached to the token, there is nothing that stops the token price going up, and that would provide a great cash flow yield and in essence then would increase the floor price. Now, these have reached close to 3 ETH as a floor, so sitting at 0.53 is an amazing buy if you don't already have one. And the big play with Mutant Cats is they're probably the #1 DAO vault project that actually goes ahead and buys up all of these other projects, and then you're basically earning yield on the basis of that entire vault. And their vault is now worth about 1,500 ETH. They've got things like Mutant Apes, they've got things like Cool Cats, they've also got Bored Apes, and they've got CryptoPunks in their DAO. I think it's a great project, and that's why I hold about 5 or 6 of these. Next up is Crypto Dads. Now, Crypto Dads is one of those interesting projects that came out, had so much hype. They went from like a 0.2 floor all the way up to about 2.5 ETH. And then they've come all the way down to about 0.1. Now they've done a 3x and they're sitting at about 0.3. And that's because this whole NFT bull run has caused a lot more eyes to come onto the space. What really attracts me about Crypto Dads is not only did you once you buy the Crypto Dad, you get a Crypto Mom for free, so it's airdropped. They have a lot of things working in the background. They're building a game. They're also coming out with their own passive income opportunity. They also treat this like a company. They're looking at, energy drinks, they're looking at other opportunities with their merch. It's very exciting to be at the start of such a big company if they can execute well. Again, not a huge holding in this space, but I do like what they're doing and I definitely like the art. Now for the final 3, we've got Wicked Ape Bone Club. They are really building out a great brand across not just Ethereum's platform, but also through Solana's. I really like what they're doing. They've released a couple of airdrops with the hounds. They've also got the Wicked Monsters. So they're really prepping for something big here. I don't think the floor price is reflective of what they're actually building, and it's very exciting, especially with the artwork being so sick as well. My second favorite woman-led project is Boss Beauties right now, and I actually got into this quite early at about 0.09 to 0.1, and I definitely spoke about this in my Patreon community. So again, if you are interested in sort of these talks, because I don't bring out videos about NFTs all the time, if you are interested in what I think will be the biggest industry over the next sort of 5 to 12 years, then definitely go join Patreon. But here, sitting at 0.25, they are doing something really unique. They've got paintings of the NFTs sitting in the New York Stock Exchange building, which is absolutely phenomenal. They also have a lot around mentoring, business opportunities for women, and really upskilling people. So I really like what they stand for. I like the art, but it's also about the utility that's backing it, and they're very young, only a few months old, so it's exciting to see where their journey leads to. And the final project that I have here, which is a bit on the cheaper side, is Society of Derivative Apes, or SODA. It's obviously a derivative project between doodles and apes, bringing them together, and I think the artwork is sick. So as we have a lot of attention go onto the apes and a lot of attention on doodles, the prices keep increasing. So the barrier to entry is quite high. That's why I like SODA, and I think based on what they're doing, the team that's actually executing everything they've said so far could actually prove to be a dark horse in this. Again, at a low floor price, it's a speculative play and something that you need to do your research about. So as we go through this NFT bull run, the questions that you need to ask yourself is is this in line with your risk appetite? Do I know enough about this space or do I need to learn more? I think if you aren't comfortable buying NFTs, then that's okay. But don't use that as an opportunity to not even look and educate yourself around this space. I already know I'm probably gonna get people commenting down below, probably watched half this video or didn't even bother to watch all of it and say,
oh, well, NFTs are a scam. I can right click, save all of these projects and it's all a scam. I can change my DP. Why would you pay so much for something?
The truth is there is utility being built and NFTs are gonna be much bigger than just you being able to change your profile pic. It's actually gonna be digital membership. It's actually gonna provide unique income opportunities and passive income opportunities, which will be greater than any of the traditional finance opportunities that are out currently. If you are interested in learning more, definitely subscribe to the channel, drop a like for the video because it does take quite a bit of time to make these ones, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks guys.